additional support do you have for us between now and Thursday, 3/7, to get our forecast done?
Well, we have been monitoring this closely. We get a lot of feedback from our local implementation managers who are working very hard to help support this individually in their units. We also have been adding more things. We started off knowing that we were going to need to do a lot of training for this, and this is quite normal for this tool set. I mean, project team members took 5-day trainings to learn HCP, and we are kind of, given that everybody's so stretched here, we've been trying to limit the actual time in the classroom to accommodate people's schedules and focus people more on actually doing the work with coaching and assistance. So one of the things that we have done is we've been running working sessions, and we've been encouraging our local implementation managers to bring people from their unit to get that to get that real-time coaching outside of the tool. So those first few moments when you're encountering it without the script in front of you, and you're actually trying to look at your data and make sense of it, is done in the room with people. So if you get stuck, somebody's there. Janine has this wonderful concept of your budget buddy, and in any unit there are people who are your budget buddy. Together you can remind each other of enough stuff that you can get through what you're trying to get done. For people who have been through training and are still getting stuck, we are encouraging you to bring your budget buddies to office hours to get, definitely this is not an opportunity to get training. It's not a substitute for training by any means. You really want to go through those exercises. What it is you've been in the tool, you've been trying to work through it, and you've got a bunch of questions that have emerged, and you want to kind of try them out and in a safe space. And so office hours are there. We're also working on this. I've been told to hold this up instead of a newspaper because I'm not a hostage. We have this forecast checklist, and this sort of touches on some of the stuff I was talking about as far as, how do I go through this forecast knowing that there's this deadline next Thursday, and I've just sort of gotten in there and I'm seeing stuff and I'm feeling pretty overwhelmed, which is absolutely natural. So we're going to be sending this out. This is something, it's literally like you start off with your FY13 forecast, and you look at it and you say, okay, well, I'm going to compare the first half of the year with the second half. And if my compensation looks pretty good, I'm going to move on to something else. And if I look at something and I think, oh, that compensation isn't really, what I would expect to be in the second half of the year or compared to last year's actuals, I'm going to go in there and I'm going to think to myself, is it a pooled position that I need to put in? Is there something systematic about the way my employees transferred over that I need to look at and maybe report back to the CalPlanning team?